A camel can bear a load between 375 to 600 pounds. Wow. No wonder it's called the beast of burden. It was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Have you ever heard that expression? So no matter how much the camel can carry, even the camel has limitations. And I'd like you to realize that even the electorate has limitations. Yes, they might have put up with a whole lot, but there's that last straw. And I believe we're at the stage of where the electorate says, enough is enough. It's time for political change. I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Chung, a political leadership strategist, author of the book Political Change, and president for Kenley College. So, what about this last straw that's going to break, or it has already broken the back of the electorate? Some people think it began with COVID, but it really began before COVID, and people wanted to have changes. COVID didn't help it. It didn't help it at all. And then another straw, inflation, and another straw, rising interest rates, and another straw, gas prices going up. And then there was the electricity prices. Politicians who were clueless as to we have now exceeded the 600-pound maximum said, we've got to increase taxes because we've got to help all the people who have been suffering as a result of all the load we've put on them. That was one of the reasons when I wrote Political Change that I wanted to draw your attention to. And that reason was people aren't necessarily looking for the same kinds of leaders anymore. They're actually willing to try people who are new. And if they're not getting the new in a new party, are they seeing the new in the existing party? Are they seeing leaders who truly have a different mentality? Let's look at this practically. If the leaders who are the establishment leaders aren't willing to listen, what's the first thing that you could do that's different? You could start listening. I'm asking you to go among the people. Because if you want to bring change, you've got to know what their real felt needs are. You've got to get in among the people, listen to them. And once you've listened to them, start sharing what you would like to bring and listen to them again. Because you might have an idea of what you want to bring, but then when you share that with the people on the ground, it doesn't work for them. When I did my research, I found that those who loved and respected the people, and they became great, not only because they may have held the title, let's say, of a king, but they became great because they knew how to serve the people. And you might say, well, I'm new at this. I'm a new politician. I'm an aspiring politician. How am I going to serve the people? Do you know you can do very, very practical things? You can find ways to signpost them to people who might be able to help them, agencies that might be able to help them. So much can happen just from listening. And there might be things that you can do practically to help them. So why don't you start with where you're at, as opposed to looking at the grand scheme? Like, what am I going to change for the big, big picture? How about you start with the small? Do you know if you start small, it can actually become big? And so you start listening to what their needs are, and you start meeting their needs where they are in as practical a means and a manner as you can. That in itself begins to speak volumes. And as a leader, when you get among the people, that's how they relate to you. Think of having a king high and lifted up, and then deciding to come and be among the people and speak with the people and serve the people. Wouldn't that make the people love that king more, appreciate that king more, appreciate that leader more? How did they get to know your heart for them? If you are so removed from the people, how do you know what they need? So I want you to start making a plan today. Okay, so what am I going to do to start going in, start talking to the people, maybe ask, maybe seeking out some information, maybe knocking on some doors, and start talking to people, hearing their needs, sharing your vision for the future so that it is one that actually they not only hear, they not only understand, but they buy into and they become invested into making their community, their constituency, their nation a whole lot better. Now, if you ever wanted to know how to better serve, how to better be a part of the serving change that's going to bring about political change, be sure to get my book, Political Change. I'll put the link to it in the description box. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.